So first of all, DACA is short for Deferred Action for Childhood Arrivals. This is for people that enter the United States and without permission or in some form or fashion overstayed, and they should be removed technically according to law. But President Obama started something that's still there after many fights in the courts, where it said people who fix within a certain set of rules get deferred action, which means they won't deport them or remove them from the United States unless they have some certain issues, and they'll get a work permit. So you have that. However, if you try to get a green card through employment and you want to apply for it in the United States, you have to have maintained lawful status unless there's some exceptions, which we won't get into here. The alternative is that you leave the United States and do consular processing to finish out your green card case outside. However, if you have been in the United States and have accumulated over 6 months or 1 year of unlawful presence days, once you exit the United States, then you're going to be subject to what's called a 3 or 10-year ban. It's accumulating a lawful presence days. And so I think that the countdown starts when you're 18, and because of that, if you got DACA when you're 20, getting DACA itself causes the unlawful presence days to be told, so you stop accumulating it. But you probably accumulated, more than a year from the age of 18 to 20. And because of that accumulation, if you leave the United States without, something like advanced parole or something like that, you're going to be subject to a 10-year bar to re-entry unless you get that waived. So that becomes an issue to try to get it through employment, because you will be subject to the 10-year bar. Let me see. There's this, there's that. There's a thing called 245K that wouldn't apply in your situation, because if you left and came back on parole, parolees don't get to use 245K. So, we'd have to have a private consultation to get more detail to see if something exists, but you would probably need what's called an unlawful presence waiver, Form I-601A. And for that, you need to have a qualifying relative, a spouse, which if you had a U.S. citizen spouse, we could work on other ways to do it. But if you have a spouse or parent that's a green card holder, has lawful permanent resident status, they can be a qualifying relative, and then a lot of other stuff go on that. But unfortunately, your basic question is, can you adjust status through employment? Like you get green card, you can't adjust status unless there's a major exception. And consular processing is the way you have to go, but for that, you eventually could maybe get status, let's say 10 years of waiting outside unless you get one of those waivers approved. Now, there's just a lot going on, so there's 1% exceptions for everything, so we'd have to really dive deep in your individual case, see if these like random exceptions apply. But in most cases like yours, unless you get that waiver, the employment aspect's not going to work through the employer. But things change, or there might be some exception we didn't know about, but that's the best that I could do on this general information. Thank you for watching this educational program. To get the latest videos, click the subscribe button and the notification bell icon. Also, help us help the immigrant community by liking this video and sharing it with your family and friends. You can also find us on other social media sites like Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, LinkedIn, and Twitter, where you find the latest updates on immigration news, policy changes, and tips. Be safe and God bless. See you soon.